Today, I wanted to share something I found quite useful. It comes from Hobbes' Leviathan. It's what his definition of power is and the different sources of it. So, what power is, according to Hobbes, is the ability to get something you want in the future. So, I think we all want different things in the future. So, this power thing can be useful to yourself. So the first kind of bullet point he has, where power comes from, he says kind of comes from the person themselves. So this can be your different almost personality traits or your strength. But then more importantly, and this is the most important one, and power comes from leadership. So if you can unite people by consent, you'll have the most power. We'll often see this in politics. I think that this is a very good example. You can get literally hundreds of millions of people to follow you if you can have leadership. Then the next one he has is riches. So we live in a capitalist society. I don't have to explain this too much. I can pay someone $25 an hour and they'll hang out with me. I'm sure with more money, you can get even more people to do things for you. So that's riches. Then he talks about a reputation of power. So if you can show people that you have power, you'll have even more. It kind of stacks upon itself. I remember hearing something like fame makes fame, well, power makes more power. And he talks about popularity gives you power. I can tell you, I've seen people with millions of followers on different social media, and people just follow them just because there's a lot of people already following them. Um, Next, he says that whatever makes people loved or feared gives them power. I think we can maybe think of examples like this in our own life. A reputation of success. So, if you've had success in the past, people are more likely to buy into whatever cause you're going for. I think I mentioned likability earlier. I think he talks about that again. Reputation of prudence. So, if people know that you're not irrational and you make good decisions, they're going to follow you. And then he says nobility is power. So your family and your connections, they unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, if you have the privilege of being born into a good family, people know you have that connection and you can always fall back on them. And then this one I find funny, and it's so true. Eloquence is power because people think you're being prudent. I can think of some demagogues at the US political level on both sides of the aisle that have quite the way with words, even if they're nonsensical. And then form is power. So this is beauty. So beauty is power. And the example I like to give is if you're wearing, say, some like really nice clothes and you go to work and you talk to the smartest person at work, but they're wearing rags, they didn't do their hair, they kind of look like a mess. You're having a conversation among equals. It would be weird if that person cut you off. But the moment that person spends 5 minutes to put on some nice clothes and do their hair, maybe makeup or whatever, now all of a sudden, if that person interrupts you, you're just going to let them. So beauty is a form of power. And then he calls these small power, but arts and sciences, those are forms of power as well. And I think we all know how we can apply those to, um, achieve our will. So I did want to share this. I thought it was particularly useful. I personally try to optimize these quite a bit. While I'm not wearing nice stuff today, so I imagine my form power isn't as good and I'm less convincing. But if I was wearing something nice, maybe you'd take me more seriously. But it's good to know these. We try to maximize our wealth. We try to keep a good reputation for ourselves. I try to learn leadership. These are all kind of good things to try to maximize because we all want to achieve whatever we want and get things in the future. So, all right, I hope you found this valuable. I was surprised how much I thought this section on Hobbes has kind of, I don't know if I want to say changed my life, but I definitely apply this quite a bit.